Welcome back to Standard 7 Biology class. In today's class, you will learn mainly about the organs of the human excretory system. The human excretory system consists of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. There are a pair of kidneys present in our body and it is bean-shaped reddish brown structures which is located just above the waist, one on each side of the backbone. We have the right kidney which is present on the right side and the left kidney present on the left side. The right kidney is located slightly lower than the left one. Kidneys are the organs where the filtration of blood is taking place. So when you take a longitudinal section of kidney, you can find different areas or different regions are there. Each kidney is internally divided into two parts. There is an outer dark region which is called as cortex and an inner lighter region called as medulla. There is a wide funnel shaped cavity which is present on the concave side of the kidneys. This cavity is called the renal pelvis. It is the point where the kidneys opens into tubes called the ureters. So internally kidney is divided into two regions, that is an outer dark cortex which is also known as renal cortex and an inner lighter region called medulla or renal medulla, and there is a funnel shaped cavity present at the concave side of the kidneys which is called as renal pelvis. From the renal pelvis, a pair of tube-like structures originates, that is called as ureters. So ureters are a pair of tube-like structures that originates from the renal pelvis of both the kidneys. They receive the urine from the kidneys and transport the urine downwards towards the urinary bladder. So ureters is the organ which is connecting the kidneys to the urinary bladder. The function of ureters is to receive the urine from the kidneys and transport it downwards towards the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a muscular bag-like structure present below the ureters in the lower abdomen. The urinary bladder is the organ which stores the urine temporarily. Later, the stored urine is removed outside through a short tube which is called the urethra. So the main function of urinary bladder is to store the urine temporarily. Another organ is urethra. It is a short muscular tube that arises from the lower end of the urinary bladder. A specialized muscle is present in the urethra. This muscle is called as sphincter muscles, and this muscle controls the opening and regulate the flow of urine through the urethra. The sphincter muscles relax to release the urine out of the body, and this process of expulsion of urine to the exterior is called urination or micturition. So what is micturition or urination? The process of expulsion of urine to the exterior is called urination or micturition. So these are the different parts of the human excretory system. So we have discussed about pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. Next, let's see what is the role of kidneys in filtering the blood. This diagram shows the internal structure of kidney, and here you can see two blood vessels which is connected to the kidneys. One of the blood vessel is the renal artery and the another one is renal vein. Renal artery is the branch of aorta which brings the blood carrying the metabolic waste into the kidneys. So through the renal artery, the blood is carried into the kidneys. The renal artery enters into the kidney and it branches into smaller blood vessels and it reaches the microscopic filtering units present inside the kidneys which is called as nephrons. So, nephrons is the unit inside the kidney which does the filtering process. Each kidney contains about 1,000,000 nephrons. These nephrons are surrounded by blood capillaries which carries the blood that is to be filtered. The blood that is to be filtered contains many metabolic waste and also some useful substances such as glucose, amino acids, minerals like sodium, potassium and calcium, and water. All these useful substances are also filtered along with the waste through the nephrons. So nephrons act as a sieve and it filters all the metabolic waste as well as the useful substances. But these useful substances will not be removed from the body. It will be reabsorbed from the filtrate back into the blood because the body needs them. After the filtration process, the leftover liquid, which is called as filtrate, contains waste such as water, urea and mineral salts, and it forms the straw colored fluid which is called as urine. The urine formed inside the kidneys is collected in the renal pelvis, and from the renal pelvis the urine is transported through the ureter and then it is temporarily stored in the urinary bladder. Later the urine is expelled out or removed through the urethra. During the filtration process, the larger molecules present in the blood such as proteins and red blood cells will not be filtered because they are too big to pass through the nephrons. The blood which leaves the kidneys through the renal vein is free of metabolic waste and contains the right amount of water along with useful substances to be reused. So, the blood which is entering the kidneys through the renal artery contains many waste substances. And the blood which is passing out of the kidneys through the renal vein will be free from all the metabolic waste and it contains the right amount of water along with the useful substances. This is how the filtration process is taking place inside the kidneys. Which is the filtering unit of kidneys? They are nephrons which help in filtering and removing the waste from the blood. With this, we wind up today's class. We'll continue the chapter in the next class. Thank you and have a nice day.